So while I'm waiting for the sealant to set in here on those cracks that I found, I might as well get to work on some pieces over here. Yeah, that's another Corvette. That's my 88 that I'm working on. That's a long project. I could start working on these, cleaning them up and giving a coat of paint. It looks like someone tried to spray paint within the vehicle and got overspray on some of the parts. In fact, almost all the parts. Looks like they tried to spray paint the carpet, I think, because these are for holding the target top in the back, one on each side. And I taped the screws to them when I took them out. So I'm just going to leave those there. It's fine. The baggie can get spray painted, you know. I'm probably going to do the thing on the screws, because the screws, they look kind of rusted out and stuff, and I'll touch those up. You know, hey, every little bit helps. I'll tape off these and clean these up and give them a coat of black paint, and then oil them up, lube them up after the paint dries. And of course, you know, the locks. I mean, look how cruddy those look. Those will be cleaned up. I have the screws for these in another bag that I have stashed. And of course, they got overspray on these too, so I gotta clean these and get them a coat of paint. So that's the next thing. Getting ready for the carpets. So I found underneath the dirt, I found overspray on these too. It looks like they tried to spray the carpets in the car without, I don't know, maybe not masking everything, but it's covered with overspray. A light tinge of overspray. So while I was cleaning these, I noticed, I don't know if you could see it, some cracks here and on the right hand side one right there. Now these are the target top holder covers, and what I'm going to do is paint them and see if that blemish or those cracks disappear, because they don't go through on either one. They're not all the way through, they're only on this side that you can see them. So I'm going to paint them, see how they look. If they look crappy, I'm going to replace them. After just one coat, these are all looking really good. And that's a light coat. I just did a light coat. You can kind of see the crack on this one, but the top of the crack on this one is still very visible. You can still see some of the overspray from whatever they were doing is still there behind the fresh coat of black that I just put on it. You know, I'm trying not to touch any of the surfaces I painted. But after one coat, they're looking really good. And that's one light coat. All right, if you look around, this crack on this one, and this is the second coat now. All of these pieces this is their second light coat. You actually have to move in a certain angle to see the crack on this one. But the top of the crack on this one is still very visible from whatever angle. So I don't know. I'm gonna make a decision on whether to replace that one or both of them, you know, after the third light coat. and pretty good inspection. And this is in direct sunlight. So these would be in the back of the car, so they might not be noticeable. But like I said, this is after just the second light coat. So I came by and I'm looking over all the pieces here, and they look pretty good. You can still see the crack on this side. You can see the crack a little, like a lot on that one. So I think I'm gonna replace them. And it only makes sense to. This came out good. This is the passenger seat. Goes over the front lug nuts. Not lug nuts, but the front nuts that hold the passenger seat to the floor. These are the push pins that go in those holes. So these push pins go to these two. They go in the front. And these are the hatch lock covers and the hatch locks. I mean, they look fantastic. I'm gonna oil these up, get them nice and lubed up so that they work proper again. And these, you know, look really good. Might have to do a touch in there. Looks like they didn't get a lot of paint in there. But anyway, that's 3 coats, 3 light coats on them. They look fantastic. I think they look almost new except for, you know, the cracks on these ones. So I'll have to figure out something on that and what I'm gonna do and go from there.